guys are joined by Montrell Johnson Jr. We'll open up questions. We'll start with Edgar Thompson.
Yeah. Hey, so how do you guys come down off that high and stay the course and get grounded for another tough opponent and big environment?
So basically, we just gotta, build on great days, get 1% better every day, and get back in the film room and just, go to work. That's all there's to it.
Is that the message Billy imparted? Did he bring this up? Did he talk about, hey, that was great, enjoy it, it's behind us now? What did he tell you? What was his message?
Billy's message was just that, that's behind us now. Is on to the next step. Is always, get better every day, and always, just to leave stuff like that behind us. You know what I mean?
What did it mean to you for Coach to come back to you after the fumble?
Oh, it meant a lot to me because it just showed me that he has a lot of trust in me, a lot of trust in my game, and I'm glad he did because I think I would have had a bad game if I got the ball later in the game. So I'm glad he came back to me.
How did you flush it, you think, mentally?
Mentally, I flushed it by my teammates. Like when I got back to the sideline, my teammates they came over. They encouraged me. They picked my head up when I was down, and I really appreciate that out of them.
Big games before, but at a different level. This is a big game in front of 90,000 people. Talk about the atmosphere that you felt, and particularly late in the game when you got all these people screaming.
The atmosphere was great, man. It was great to hear 90,000 plus cheering for you, on a Saturday night, and you could tell that the atmosphere really was difficult for Utah's offense and their defense as well, and it really changed the outcome of the game.
What will you remember from that game 10, 20, 30 years from now?
Probably that fumble. Yeah, yes, sir.
Did it bother you that much?
Yeah, it bothered me that much. Like I was really uncomfortable with it.
Anthony joked, he said they're going to have to roll you this week. You think you're going to have to roll after practice for the fumble?
Yeah, Naquan and Anthony told me that, and I think I'm gonna pay my dues. Me and Trevor.
How did the Swamp compare with like Texas last year or whatever? I mean, they had 90,000 there.
It's uncomparable. The Swamp was so much louder, so much more in intensity, more humid. It was just way better.
I looked at, and your biggest crowd you played with at home was 31,000.
Yes, sir. And that's not even comparable to what we saw on Saturday night.
Late in the ball game, when you guys commit to running the football, you got 6 minutes left, and you're committed to running the football. Talk about what you see from your offensive line there. You're lining up. Do you see guys just snarling and ready to just go knock somebody off the ball?
So my O-line, man, I give all my greatness to them. They did great all night. They was getting a lot of push off the ball, and you could see like throughout the game that the defense was getting tired, and we were just wearing them down by our fast-paced offense, and that really helped us a lot.
How about Osiris going after people?
That man is great. You're gonna see him on Sundays.
How many times did you guys watch the 2-point conversion?
Oh my God! Like we watched it at least 5 times in the meeting room, but I seen it at least 20 times on Twitter and all type of social media. See, in the game, I actually thought Anthony got sacked right there, and I'm like, what? And like it was just crazy. Like,
Do you know what he? Can you even describe what he did?
that's indescribable. Like he pump fake, jumped in midair, did a spin move, and then threw it. Like I don't know, man. That's just different.
On the fourth down play, you make the key block. What did you see with the guy coming off the edge there? Because you sprung him on that fourth down play.
Which one are you talking about?
On the winning drive, it's 4th and 3. He's back to pass, and they could bring the blitzer. You got the blitzer, and
Coach Luke always teaches us, to get our pre-snap read. So I already knew that was my guy. I just got my pre-snap read, and I just got to him just in time.
How does it affect the run game to have a guy like Anthony that's just so mobile and that defenses kind of have to key on?
It affects the run game a lot because it takes a lot of pressure off me. With me faking the ball going this way, Anthony going the other way. The defense doesn't know who has the ball, so it affects the run game a lot.
When you have a guy who can make a play like that, the 2-pointer,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like you're in any game as long as you can keep it a possession?
Yes, sir. If any team has a guy like Anthony on their team, you know, they're in great position to win a game. It don't matter what's the outcome. You know what I mean?
On that fumble, not to belabor, man, but I mean, you're stressing, you run over a guy already. Technically, what did you do wrong, or was it just a great play by the defensive guy to knock it out?
To be honest, I think it was a great play. I was going down. I was in bad position. I was trying to brace myself for the fall, and I only had one hand on the ball. He just stripped it loose. It was a great play by the defender.
Were you trying to stay in bounds there at the end of the game when you got down to the 2? It looked like you were trying to.
But yes, sir. I wasn't trying to go out of bounds. I was trying to keep the clock running.
Do you do anything like? It obviously bothers you fumbling a football as a running back.
Yes, sir.
Do you do anything extra? You always have these things, guys carrying footballs to class or whatever. And, I mean, are you going to do anything extra to prevent that from happening again?
Nothing like that extreme. I wouldn't carry a ball to class, but
Maybe sleep with it. I don't know.
But say like this week, for example, this week during practice, I'll probably like work on, we call it like a stumble bump drill. It's like when you like stumble and like you put one hand on the ground, you pick the ball up tighter. So I'll probably work on that more this week.
What was practice like yesterday, and just the energy coming off that game?
The energy was great, man. Everyone was excited, you know, ready to get back to work and get after Utah. I mean, not Utah, Kentucky.
Is there a sense of, like, the coaches have been preaching for 9 months, this is the way we do things, this is the way, is there a sense of validation when you win after, and beat a top 10 team after doing all the things you've done for 9 months?
It's most definitely a lot of validation because it shows, you know, us that the work that we put in through January from now has paid off, you know, and a lot of guys needed that.
You warned us a few weeks ago that Etienne was going to be pretty special.
Yes, sir.
What do you like about his game, and how does it differ from you?
I just like that he's a shifty kind of runner. You know what I mean? He has great lateral quickness, and he could get north and south as well. And he's a home run threat.
What's your mindset going into this week, knowing that SEC play starts and you guys got Kentucky coming to town?
Mindset is, you know, just to keep building on good days. You know what I mean? Just keep getting better each and every day, and it's all going to, you know, come together at the end.
You're not bigger in your mind at all that it's like your first SEC game, though?
That's it. It's just a game in my mind.
You mentioned being on top of things pre-snap. You guys did a ton of motions and stuff. How much did that benefit you in terms of opening up the run game to be able to kind of throw off the defense?
So the motions are great for our offense because, like, once we motion a player, it gives us like a type of visual of like what the defense is doing. So yeah, it helps a lot.
You're a Sun Belt guy, and I guess you saw what happened with App State, and you played there.
Yes, sir.
And you saw what happened to them and getting 40 points in the fourth quarter on North Carolina. Did that surprise you, being a Sun Belt guy, that would happen?
I mean, that really didn't surprise me. I know App State, they're a great team. I mean, you know, they didn't beat us they didn't beat UL last year, but they didn't surprise me. No.
Better players in the Sun Belt than people think?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Can you break down Trevor's skill set after seeing him, obviously all through preseason camp, but also seeing him in a game?
You know, like I said before, you know, Trevor has great lateral speed, great lateral quickness. You know, he has great, you know, north and south speed. You know, he's a home run threat. He's gonna be a great player for us in the future.
All right, guys, we're gonna have Montrell off to the side by Rick, and then we're gonna bring Tyreak Sapp up to the podium.
Thank you.
If you guys have any more questions for Montrell, he'll be available on the side. Okay.
He looks the part. I mean, he's showing, he pulls his shorts up just to show off his legs.
The cameras are good back. We'll wait till the cameras are good back.
Okay.
And then we'll go, all right?
All right.
I don't want that.
You don't put hubcaps on Ferraris.
Exactly. Well, duh.
You guys get the back?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're joined by Tyreak Sapp. We'll start with Nick De La Torre on your round 10.
Got in late last year, and it was kind of like a learning year for you. Just what was your mindset in the offseason to kind of, I guess, get yourself ready and prepared to be an impact player this year?
just kind of put my mindset on just working and just working with the team, working with this D-line that I've never worked with before, and just getting ready for this season. Like, just all this work in the off season during the spring, and then when these guys came in, they just gave me a new light, something to live, like something to breathe for, just a new breath. That we got some more opportunities coming in. It's gonna be big time for me to be able to play this year, and that I can really like provide for this team and be able to be a productive player for this team this year.
The new staff is kind of rejuvenating for you?
Mm-hmm.
What gave you confidence in that new staff early?
Man, they came in with energy. Even though it was a new staff, it's kind of hard to gain that trust early and be able to somebody just coming in and being able to just trust them out the gate. We built that over a time, and they told us, they understood that it wasn't going to come. It was going to come slowly, but it was going to come for surely. And they promise, and they kept their promise from then to now.
Your emotions when you saw Amari make the interception there?
Oh man, like it was like it's unexplainable, man. I was just so happy, and just like it was just like one of those electrifying moments in football where you can't really explain it with words. It's all just reactions from there, man. And I was so happy for Amari, man. It was just one of those great moments, and that was the crazy part. It happened on my first game ever playing, and that was just one of the best parts about it. I contributed to that.
How do you come down from that emotional high, get refocused, and just stay the course?
You got to understand, you can't be complacent. You got to know that you got to understand that there's room for improvement, and the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. So you got to take that. You got to take that for what it is and move on to the next week and have a laser beam focus on the next team and get ready for your next opponent.
That sounds like a Coach Chaos expression, is it?
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, yeah.
Biggest room is room for improvement.
The biggest room in the world is the room for improvement.
Is there some validation, though, in terms of you guys go 9 months building this thing? Is there a little validation in not only winning, but beating a top 10 team and all that?
Yeah, there's some validation. There's a lot of validation, but we understand as a team that, yeah, there's validation. Yeah, we work for that, but we got to understand there's a lot more work to be put in. We got to understand that we can be better, that we can be a lot better, and there's a lot of things that we can improve on, and we're going to keep improving on those during the week, during day in and day out.
I mean, Coach Napier talked about, some of the misalignment, I guess, in the second half. How do you guys clean that up for this week for coming into Kentucky?
Yeah, we most definitely gonna get that cleaned up. We don't put the film to rest. Now we just gonna get that cleaned up, just making sure everybody's on the same page. Obviously, that was my first game ever in the swamp, and I can tell you right now, the swamp is real. The swamp is real, so you gotta buckle up and be ready for that. So I just think we're gonna be better on the communication factor of things, and just be better team, and just playing team defense and understanding what we had to do in our alignments, just being in place.
So you think the crowd noise impacted that a little bit? The fact that you guys couldn't hear or something, or no?
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. But
Watching the film and having the coaches critique you, does that bring you down a little bit off your high?
yeah, it brings you down. It brings you down a little bit, but you understand, you accept that because you understand that this is what you need and this is what it's going to take for us to be better and for us to improve throughout the weeks, throughout these games, week in and week out, just being better against different opponents.
What is the Wild Dogs mentality? Where does that come from?
Wild dog mentality, man. The African wild dog, that's a pack mentality. We have a pack mentality. We play for each other every game. We play every snap for each other. We would lay our lives on the line for each other each and every snap. We make sure we do that, and we make sure we hold ourselves to that standard.
Is that what Billy's building? If you had to take something from that game, what is Billy and the staff building?
They are building a tough, mean, nasty team, ready to play anybody. Any type of high combatants, we're ready for that. That's what we're trying to be.
At what point do you come down from, okay, you just beat the 7th-ranked team in the country, and that game's over and behind you? At what point did that happen for you, and now it's all about Kentucky?
Yesterday, it happened for me yesterday. Yesterday evening when we came in, new week, new time, new week. Knew everything. Just got to change your focus. You got to get off your game day high. You got to understand that we got big time, formidable opponent coming in. High combatants is the team that we lost to last year. So we just looking forward to putting our focus on them and getting ready for that team.
What's that expression? Hot combatants?
High combatants.
High combatants?
Yeah, combatants. Yes, they are combatants. This is a war. This game is a war. They are combatants.
About the Spencer tweet again. What is the 80% efficiency rate? Do you know what I'm talking about? He tweeted out that Wild Dogs lead with 80% efficiency rate. Do you know what he's talking about there?
Nah, if he did tweet that out, I do not know about it.
What is the chant? What does the chant sound like that you guys?
Oh, it said art. So we basically say I'm a dog, I'm a villain, competition, I'm gonna kill it.
Who do you say is the leader in the front seven for you guys?
And the leader in the front seven most definitely V-Mill, but I always call what my big leaders always look to. These are guys that I looked to in the game yesterday for me to keep me down because it was my first rodeo. There was a lot of emotions, a lot of nerves going on. So I was looking at these guys like V-Mill, Cox, and Dex. Those my guys, those who I look to, those my big brothers, and they kept my head in the game, and that was the reason I think I was able to play a stout and do my job for the defense.
What does he do? Because I was going to ask you and Brenton about Montrell, and I mean, he was just all over the field the other night.
Man, V-Mill is a phenomenal player. He plays his heart out every play. He understands the job. He understands the situation, and he's gonna do everything in his power to make sure he gets his job done, and to understand that, make sure everybody else get their job done because he knows he's that general in the middle.
So is there some vocal leadership that goes with that?
Most def. He's the most def vocal leader. He's gonna
Can you explain?
Like, he's going to let you know every play, what you got going on. He's going to let you know, he's going to reassure you everything that you need. He's just going to keep you in. And he's one of those guys that's played a lot of snaps in his career. So when you go on the field with a guy like that, you're pretty comfortable and you can play pretty confident because you know you got a guy behind you. He understands what's going on.
At what point did you, I mean, when you went to bed, did you fall asleep immediately when your head hit the pillow? Or did you stay awake for 2 hours replaying the ball game?
Oh, night after the game, man, I'm not even gonna lie. I went to sleep probably about 4 a.m. I was up, you know, you gotta relive like that moment, like, you know, you just kind of gather your thoughts after the game and really just understand what happened, especially for me, especially me being my first time having the opportunity to actually put on that uniform and actually go out there and play in that game and that caliber of a game. So it just took a lot for me to just gather my thoughts and understand what just happened. But I was just proud of what happened, and then that, you know, immediately after the game, I got right back to work, got back on that film.
You two running highlights in your head?
I wouldn't say that. But most dope, I checked in with the boys. You know, you talk to all your boys. You make sure everybody good and everybody talk to each other. We let each other know how we feel and our thoughts on everything. That's it.
What time do you have to get up if you're falling asleep at 4?
Yeah, you pretty much can sleep in. You sleep in, then we have our day start later on.
That's good. I just want to know.
You've seen Dexter's approach to the game since you got here.
Yeah.
Has anything changed about it? What stands out to you about the way he approaches practice?
Man, Dex is one of those guys. He has a business-like mentality, but he understands even though he's not been playing this game for a long time, he understands what it takes and what it is to actually prepare for a football game. And he just lets us know week in and week out that we got to come with a dog mentality. We got to come prepared. Like, he's played with some teams. He's been on a good team. He's been on a good team in 2020. He played with that team. He got an opportunity to play with them. So he understands what like a championship mentality is. He understands what the preparation is and what your mental mind state has to be in to playing games like that. Oh yeah, for sure, my boy. Hey man, I love Big G, man. Big G gonna look out. He has a family mentality, man. He's just a great guy to be around. He loves the team. He loves the guys, man. I love being around Big G. That's like my big bro. That's big bro for real.
You got time for a few more questions, Alan?
What's that goal line stand, man? I know what you guys chant before the game, but what was the talk down there with
Man, our thing is we defend every blade of grass. We don't care where it is. We defend every blade with all. We fight for every blade of grass, no matter what. We're going to stand.
What do you think about Chris McMillan getting in there for his debut? I mean, what does that say
Man,
about him?
see him. Young guy can play, man. And I love the kid come out with a fire, even though he didn't get as many opportunities he probably liked. But I think that kid has a bright future ahead. He's a big kid. He plays fast. He's excited. Like, that's one guy who's gonna have to watch out for. He's gonna build his way up for more playing time and get more opportunities as the season goes on.
All right, guys, we'll have Tyreak answer some more questions off to the side.
Thanks, Tyreak.
Well,
You're like a mini version of Coach Chaos, man. All those quotes.